And now please turn to the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And please join in prayer or meditation as I say, bless this food to our use and us to thy service. Amen. Amen. And now, a song. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
See if we can hasten on this opening of the bicycle trail here. So let's sing out Bicycle Bell for 2, page 14.
Daisy, give me your answer to I'm not crazy, all of you. It won't be a stylish marriage, I can't afford a carriage, but you'll look sweet upon the seat of a bicycle built for two. As I understand, we have about 7 guests. So I'm going to 9 guests. All right, I'm going to need a little help. We have 4 people, I believe, from Habitat for Humanity. I'm going to ask each of you to stand up and give us your name.
Frank Albano and current chair board.
Sam Jones, and I'm the secretary treasurer.
Cool.
Hello, I'm Renee Spady, and I'm the manager at the Habitat Restore.
I'm the rest, and I've worked with Frank since I'm on the board.
Cool. Now, Diane, you have a guest.
So I'd like everyone to meet Patty McMahon. She is here She lives in Bangkok. She is president of the Eastern Shore Literacy Council, and we don't have a very big presence here in Northampton County, and so I invited her to come join us to meet some people.
Membership's always open.
I have a guest and prospective member, Carrie McIntyre. And with her today is her son, Wyatt. Have I gotten to all of the guests?
No. His grandson is here.
Oh, of course. I'm sorry.
He's hiding in the corner.
Many of you remember Hendrix from 2 years ago. He's 2 years older and a much stronger young man. Welcome, Hendrix. Good. And my other best friend, Louis from the South Richmond Club. Stand up, Louis.
So, Louis, you're a third Rotary.
Yes.
Well, thank you for stopping in.
Of course.
Okay, so I think then I'd like to go to Happy Dollars.
No announcements.
Well, I'm sorry. In the Bible according to Payne, we go to announcements. What's the announcement?
Only because this is a big announcement.
Oh, okay.
Edward Jones, for the 17th year, is collecting school supplies for this fall. We have participated for as long as I know, and this year we have a box. Show them the box, Jim. Yeah. So, if you, forgot to bring your school supplies today, there's a place right across the walk here. Or you can do what Graham did. Graham said, Bill, I'm starting cash fund with $50. Yeah, the box will be here for 2 more weeks, and in between that, John Small has agreed to put the box in the vestibule, so it will collect as clients and customers come in. And that's, Jim, I didn't really mean to disrupt your program. My apologies. You can do anything you want.
Oh, okay, good.
I talked to Betty Bibbins yesterday, and I'll give you an update. Unfortunately, it's not great news. She says she's still in a lot of pain, virtually as much pain as she had before her surgery. And I think she was going back to see him today or tomorrow sometime soon, and hopefully get a referral for some sort of nerve block or something like that. But anyway, her husband, Paul, also had a valve replacement, an aortic valve was replaced, but it was done through a catheter. So, he went home the next day, so that's the way they're doing it these days. And he's doing great, so.
I saw her at the grocery store, and she was very happily pushing the cart up and down the aisle. Far more than she actually needed for shopping. She considered it part of her physical therapy, and that's the way she could get her steps in with essentially a very respectable walker in front of her. So, at any rate, we hope to see her soon.
We will get something out this week, but I got the information from the Nantucket Club that was hosting on behalf of all 3 clubs here in Eastern Shore, the district governor's visit. Sue Ann Bryant is our new district governor. She'll be coming to see us in August. It's specifically August 25th, so if you don't have that down your calendar, get it down. The menu, which is the most important thing, which I just got my email in the last day or so, will be roast beef, fried shrimp, mac and cheese, green beans, rolls, dessert, coffee, tea, and water. A straight up flat cost that would be $30, plus we got to add on taxes, and there are a couple other expenses that are coming with the room charge. So it's probably sitting around $42 a person. So if you're bringing a guest, you're going to pay that cost, but if you're coming as a member, that's eaten by the club. The club covers you. So we will get something out this week to you with all the particulars now that we have all the particulars, and we look forward to everybody being able to come and welcome our new district governor to the shore.
What time?
I think we're going to start around 5:30. So.
25th, that's Tuesday.
Yep.
There's no meeting.
Other announcements. We are also we have an invitation, it's a little open-ended at the moment, but we will get details from the school district, and they would like hands helping pack school. They will be providing, I guess, around 700 or 800 backpacks, and they will once again need help putting school supplies into them. No date has been set because the backpacks haven't been received yet from the manufacturer. Details will follow. I'm going to send around an email and ask you for your feedback, just so we can give them an idea how many people we might be able to supply, because I don't think we're capable of packing all 700, at least the way they had things laid out last year. And now, I have a very important announcement that our president, Joan Natale is here and turn it over. Are you ready to talk, to sing? Oh, she's here, but she can't talk. Okay, and so let's have a round of applause for our Rotary President. Okay, I think now may I do his show?
Yes, you may.
Okay, who's happy? I'm happy today. Who plays happy?
I'm happy to the tune of $20. First, I'm so delighted that my grandson Hendrix is back to visit us. He's $10 worth of happy. And then the other 10 is I'm celebrating a record for the Cape Charles Rotary Club. We have 9 guests. That's how hot you are, Joan. They learned that Joan Natale was president. Came out of the woodwork.
Yeah, absolutely. We told them the silent president was coming, and they just flocked in. Who else is happy? Diane.
I have $20
Whoa.
happiness for Patty, who's here for the Eastern Shore Literacy.
A wonderful organization doing something important, and I say that not just as the proud patron of the winning spelling bee team this year. Chuck.
I'll do $10 happy. Was finally able to get outside and ride the bike on Saturday and yesterday. Not a lot of miles, but I've been riding inside on the inside bike because the weather has been crazy. It's either been too hot, too windy, too rainy, or something. But Saturday and yesterday weren't too bad. Yesterday was hitting the 90s out on the road under the sun, so still not quite the weather I'm looking for, but we're getting there. So I need to get myself up to speed for the CBES ride in October, so I'll keep working at it.
Okay, thank you. Any other, oh, yes, all right.
I got 10 happy dollars because I left the house full of screaming kids to come.
For the benefit of our visitors, all the happy dollars go to the fund contributed to Polio Plus, which is the Rotary International fund trying to eliminate polio, eradicate polio, and thank you very much for your contribution. So now, I think that brings us to the program, and
Queen of
oh, the card, Queen of Hearts. Yeah. All right. So, who has the high card? Who can beat King of Spades?
Ace of Clubs.
Oh, Ace of Clubs. Who can beat Ace of Clubs? Oh, Ace of Hearts. Who's got another Ace of Diamonds? Ace of Chips. Hey, you win the Joan Natale Award for going on to the Ace of Spades. She's got it well. So, let me know.
Cheryl has ace of spades.
No, I have Ace of Clubs.
Hold on for just a second. And we'll get these, I think, in a hole. Yes. And so now, if you'll be so kind as to pick one out. All right, if it's a Queen of Hearts, he gets the big dollars. All right, Jack of Diamonds, we're going to tear this up. The possibility of someone picking the Queen of Hearts increases next week. And how much is in the pot? Approximately. It's going to be a weekly election. All right, so he's probably $200 or something like that. All right, and what did you get today? 8 bucks. That was a consolation prize. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce our speakers today. On behalf, who will be taking the floor first? Joe? Okay.
Come on up. Oh, I'm sorry. Frank.
Frank.
Okay, not Joe, Frank Alabama. And I'm here as chair of the board of Habitat Humanity before. Just want to give you a little brief history about it, and then Sam and Paresh and Ray will give you some information also. Our county's been open since 1988. To dispel any myths that a lot of people have, we do not give houses away. People have to qualify for low interest mortgage or no interest mortgage, depending. And they have to put in 300 sweat equity hours to just show a little skin in the game. It is their houses. So there's based on there's 4 criteria, 3 or 4 families that are chosen based on need, ability to pay, and willingness to partner. And most of these people, I don't know if you're familiar with the substandard housing we have here on the shore, but it's atrocious. I've walked in the houses where you're 7 through floors, rain coming in the roof, no windows. Some people have no running water, no electricity. And yet they're still working for them. They all have jobs. Which is what brought me to Habitat. I'm involved in a lot of different, I don't want to say charity, but different volunteer events. My wife and I travel to Malawi every year. She was here the last year speaking. I'm involved with the church doing home repairs and maintenance for people, so Habitat was just a perfect fit for me. Sam, you want to talk about where we're at with that?
Well, the good news is Frank didn't say everything I had. So the first thing I want to say is I do know a few of you. I know some of you from interacting professionally, some of you personally, and then some of you from being at our events. So let's talk about the events first, and then I want to come back to the housing piece. So we run 3 major fundraising events. We run a February freeze, and so that is jumping in the bay when it's in the middle of February, when it's really cold. I will tell you that is our best fundraiser. You know, we raise upwards to $100,000 each year. Those funds go to help build houses, but also to buy land to build houses on. So if you want to know. But the great thing about that fundraiser is the expenses are like nothing. The band is just sitting there, you know, saying, please jump in. And it's a great outreach event for us too, because we have schools that put together teams. We have really nice prizes for the schools and the individuals that do the best in terms of that. But so we have to have a February freeze. You guys feel free to put together a team if you'd like. We always look for more. We do have adult teams that come along. Then we have a gala, which happened in June up at Chatham Vineyards this past May. We moved it to coincide with the Kentucky Derby. It was a great success. And so, we suspect we'll be able to do that. I'll tell you, it's great to be sitting under a tent with folks who are all watching the Derby race. And, if you remember the one from this year, the horse that was last came out of, stayed nowhere and just looped around everybody at once. So I don't know if your horse betters or not, but if you did, I hope you had it on that one. So, and I think that was the first woman trainer that had won the Kentucky Derby. So we have a gala, and that's a more formal event, ticketed and that type of thing. And for those of you who have already bought tickets in the past for that, thank you very much. So our third fundraiser is a golf tournament here at Bay Creek. We partner with them, as do many other organizations, to have a day where we have the golf course dedicated for us. Put together teams, they come, there are prizes associated with the team. I'm not a golfer, so I cannot tell you if you ask what is the best ball or the other things that go along with that. All I know is the scores look surprisingly low. So that tells you there's something going on there as well. So we have those 3 major fundraisers. So, and again, the profits from those, because they all come with expenses, the game, you've got to pay for the food, and the tent, and all of those type of things. Of course, the golf course, you have to pay to be there. But all those profits, as I said earlier, are profits that go into building houses. Just think of this: you buy tickets, you're helping to buy a window in a house, and that type of thing. So, to go back to the housing and construction side, first off, Frank said that one of the myths was that we give away houses. I would underscore that is not the case. We partner with USDA and we provide low interest loans, very low, with basically no down payment. So if you think of someone who is out there, and we've had folks who work at banks, we've had folks who work at rural health, and who have become eligible and been able to get houses. But if you think of someone, they have a steady job, they have a good credit. But when you look around the shore, first off, we all know the house prices have become, if you're paying taxes on them, I'll say absurd. If you're trying to sell it, you're probably really happy. But for someone who is working in those kind of industries, and you say, well, now you've got to accumulate a down payment to take what we think of as sort of the traditional mortgage route. They're just not able to do that. So what they're able to do with us is we don't have the down payment requirement. We have better interest rates. And what we try to do with folks is to look at what would a mortgage plus taxes plus insurance. So that is your basic housing expenses. We set aside things like electricity and that type of thing that people can manage to some degree. And we don't want that to be any more than 30% of their family income. So that lowers the threshold pretty significantly for folks. Because when we build a house, our typical house is going to be a 3 or 4 bedroom, 2 bath, 1 story. We don't redesign, we replicate. We have a good design, the modifications we make to a design are what's required to have it work on the site. And so, we are able to bring in houses with donations that we put into the project, as well as the volunteer labor that comes, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. We're able to bring that house into $170,000. And then you say, well, what about the person only qualifies for $140,000 as a loan? We bridge the gap because we want them to be able to get into the house. Our target audience is to give someone that hope, that feeling of ownership that comes with that first-time house, that you're able to move in, and because they've proven that they can manage finances. They're already paying rent and that type of thing, and as Frank said, we would all be stunned at the quality that they sometimes are moving in. But that gives us a chance to start providing homes. Since Eastern Shore Habitat has been in place, we've done 57 homes. We're getting ready in the next. Some people say 30 days. The construction people say 90 because they're always going to take longer. We'll open up House 58. That's up in more off Willis Road. And we have families and building sites in the pipeline to move forward. So a little bit more about the family selection process. As I said, we partner with USDA. That's how we get the low interest loans for the people. But what we do is, again, we're not there to support someone who could get a house otherwise. We're there to target that first-time home buyer. So, the financial piece of it, basically that's all now running through USDA. We used to do it on our own. We now use USDA for that. But, as you would expect, we have many more applications. Some years, we've had over 100 years, and some years you have like 40, just depends. But at least once a year, we open up a 2-year window to accept applications. So as you'd expect, after you do the screening, if we're with a target of building 4 a year, and that's what we want to be able to, we're doing right now, about 2, sometimes 2.5 kind of things. But, to do that, we've got to keep people in the pipeline for the families as well as for the properties that we need. So, we'll review the applications, there'll be a family selection committee. Like I said, USDA is taking care of are they financially able, and they will say this is what they can afford. But like I said, we don't let that amount really stop us. And our family selection committee then, evaluates who they think are probably the top 6, and then they go on site visits. So when Frank says he goes into a house or a mobile home or something, and you realize you've got to step around the hole in the floor, that's what happens when you go on the site visits. But then they come back to the full board and say, all right, here's the next 3 houses, and here's the priority order. So what they've been able to do with those site visits is also, evaluate who's in the most dire straits and be able to start addressing that. But it just also sort of puts us in a position of knowing, well, how big of a house does that person need? Like the one that we're working on, that'll be fixed as soon as that thing. It's a single person house in a really bad situation. So, we're building them a 2-bedroom home. That's unusual. 2-bedroom, pretty small. But it will work for this person and for what they can qualify for loan. So we're able to do that, and then, so then we come out and say, all right, we've got a lot. We know they need a 3-bedroom home. We have a person here, and as Frank said, and there's sweat equity that goes along with that. They can accomplish that by working on site, working with Renee in the restore, working in our office, working on somebody else's house we're building. We don't care. We just want folks to fulfill ownership from the very beginning. And then you say, well, what are you doing for long term? We have, and we include in the 300 hours, we have an education program. So what's it mean to own a home? Because we all know, I told Frank after I leave here, I'm heading to Williamsburg where we used to get a permanent home, now it's our second home, to get an HVAC system replaced tomorrow. See, we all know that comes with home ownership. Over time, even when you get a brand new house, things are going to start going wrong. So we make sure that we give them some financial education as well for something they've really never had to deal with before. So Frank says, that one of the myths is that we give away houses. I will say I've been on the Habitat Board, I'm now in my 6th year. I probably thought that this cost they build, they give people houses. Who wouldn't want that deal? Find out, okay, that's not exactly how it works. The other myth that's out there is, and again, I wouldn't have had this when I came on. When Penny Holland called and said, can I come visit and talk with you? I talked to Ned Taylor, who some of you may know, who goes to church with us, and had just mentioned that. I said, well, now that I'm retired, I was interested in Habitat. Well, what I thought that meant was I was going to show up with a hammer. Or actually, they probably would give me the hammer. They just said, okay, if you want to volunteer, I'm going to tell you about that too. But anyway, so I learned very quickly that, volunteering on the site, you don't have to be skilled laborers. We bring in groups that are school kids. They come from across the bay, come from all of the peninsula, I guess it's the peninsula, the shore anyway. And we have, paid staff hourly that, manage the project. We tell them this is what you do. We don't give anybody any work that they don't have the skill set to do. And like I said, some of them are high school groups, and then we've had a group that's been coming at least 10 years, maybe more, from Williamsburg, Presbyterian across the bay. Well, they show up for a week. They've got the trailer, they've got the tools, they know, they go and stay in a hotel, so they're well rested, and then they come and work a pure week, and they can do anything, type of thing. But I did find that beyond construction, now as I sit on the board, there's lots of other ways to volunteer for. So for those of you here who have helped Penny, before that Steve, with running the golf tournament, thank you for that. You know, in Bay Creek, and you think, gosh, I can't play golf today, but hey, I can come over there and help those folks out. Putting up signs, taking down signs, collecting money, all those kind of things that go along with that. And there are ways to do that. If you want to, get more involved and say, well, gosh, this sounds like a board, not that you are busy. Although y'all do have a lot of fun here. I noticed that. But, if you wanted to be involved in that, there's some opportunities there. So the volunteer myth of, you volunteer for Habitat, you show up and you sling a hammer for a day and then you're good to go. You can do that Wednesdays and Saturdays at about 9 o'clock. Contact the office, they'll tell you where to show. And we have people who are very conscientious and show up to do that. So, let me see, I've talked about volunteers, I talked about fundraising, so I'm going to let Renee talk here a little bit about the restore, but they say, well, what do we need? We need land. We need lots to build on, and the shore here is scenic. Not every lot perks. I will tell you, we've upped our due diligence. So if you're thinking, hey, I got this lot that don't perk, I'll give it to Habitat. No thanks. Well, if you want to pay for the $20,000 septic system that'll make it work, maybe we can talk. But if you know folks that have property that are thinking, we just don't know what we want to do with that, we're certainly more than welcome to look for donations of land or donations that help us purchase land. You're not here begging for money, but it is what keeps things going. The benefit that we have of working with USDA is we're now in a position when we build a house and when it closes, we get reimbursed from them. So with a goal of doing 4 a year, then the way we can accomplish that is if we finish a house, the money comes back to us. We've used the fundraising money we have to either give that gap between what a person can afford and what the house costs, or to buy land so we have for the next site. So as I think I said earlier, our goal is 4 a year in terms of houses. Our goal is to have an all-more inventory of about 12 lots scattered across both Northampton and Accomack County, because we do serve both. I think that's everything, and we'll after Renee talks, we'll be open for questions. And again, thank you folks for having us. And let's talk to you a little bit about what we do. I'm sorry, how much do I?
Step over here.
Not much to say, except to say that, I've always wanted to be involved with Habitat for all the time that we live in New Jersey. And it's a privilege to be a part of that organization. What I wanted to say when I stepped up is to thank Pete and other volunteers from your club that are regular volunteers on site. So thank you, and of course Jim offers us space in his newspaper, so you're already involved, and of course we'd like all the support you offer. Thank you.
As long as it doesn't speak.
Alright, thank you. Hello to everyone. Again, my name is Renee Spady. I'm the manager at the Habitat Restore right in Exmoor. I want to say thank you for this opportunity. We appreciate it. And thank each of you for what you do already. It means a lot here in the community. Nothing too small. Everything you do, it adds up. Again, I'm Renee Spady at the Habitat Restore. What I want to say about Habitat, they told me wanted to speak a little bit, and I take this seriously because we're doing some good things, all of us here. So I wanted to say, no matter how you look at this, the Habitat, no matter how you slice it up, it is something good. Habitat is a benefit in society, in our world, in our communities. The Habitat Restore is a consistent and constant moving part of Habitat for Humanity. The proceeds made from the Restore go to Habitat to build homes and homes. Like they said, honestly, there are people that have holes in the floors, and when it rains, the rain is coming through their home. I spoke with a gentleman one time, and he said, I can look outside from inside my house. I can just look right out there. It broke my heart. So we are building homes, and we're building homes right here in our local community. Items are donated, which allows that items to continue to live and to be loved instead of literally going to the trash. So they have a new life, and they continue to go on. And little things that might not seem important, like one family told me they had a table, went through 2 generations of families. That's special to me. So I write that on my ticket to let people know 2 families have had this table. And if you're going to continue to love it, we would love that. One way that we are able to obtain donations is through our Restore box truck. It's a 2010, and from my understanding, they received it used, and at the moment it's having some technical difficulties. It's actually sitting. It is sitting and out of commission. So the box truck is a big part in what keeps us moving. At the moment, we have been renting U-Haul, and that builds up cost, and that's money that could be going to the homes. It helps us to keep moving, keep going out to get donations, but also I know that money is going into our little slice that we could be giving to help with the homes. So that's something that I wanted to point out. Again, this organization, our mission is good. This Habitat Restore in Exmoor, in Exmoor, I'm proud to say, we have a food pantry. It's just something on my heart, and everyone just is so on board. We feed our community. It's not just about the store being there. We want to feed and care for our community. This Habitat in Exmoor, every year during our fall festival, we set up a food table in the store, and our volunteers, we make plates of food, subs, fresh fruits, and we serve it to our community. This Restore during the Christmas season, every year, Santa comes to the Restore. He comes in there, and we give out free toys to the kids, we give out candy, and you're able to take a picture with Santa. Lastly, Habitat has a personal connection with me. When I was in college, which a long time ago, please don't ask my age, my very own sister, she was blessed with a Habitat home for her family. It was her husband and her 2 children. So again, no matter how you slice this up, no matter how you look at it, this is something good. And you will be investing in a very good cause. Thank you again for the opportunity.
Okay, I don't know how long y'all expected us to speak.
As long as you want.
Okay, well, I was going to talk about Leo here, and then he had left here, and y'all gave him such great credit for coming to the Rotary meeting, which is all true. But he had already told me, he said, I've got 6 little kids at home, man, I'm looking for somebody to get out. But questions from folks? Anything you said that isn't clear? Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell us where the Habitat for Humanity center is themselves? Your organization? Yes, ma'am. Exmoor, Virginia. I can give you the actual. Just this little Exmoor. Right in the town of Exmoor. Most of the time, people are trying to find us. 2 places I tell. Lord's Drug Store, that was in the community, a big thing in the community. So we're right there with the Lord's Drug Store. Or the Exmoor Post Office. If you can find that, you'll find us.
And you take furniture?
Yes, ma'am.
And you pick it up?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, very good.
With the truck.
Renee said, we're working on the truck. We've been going back and forth because you think, well, do you get a new one? Well, they are hugely expensive. type of thing. And so we are working, actually just last night at our board meetings, we said, look, we put money in the budget for this year to do rental, repair, whatever. So she'd already gotten an estimate on repair, so we'll be doing that. But generally, and Renee, if I'm wrong, correct me here, when everything is up and running, you call the restore, you tell them what we have. I will tell you right now, we don't take paint, and half-open things of paint, you put your cat litter in it, throw it in the trash, and we don't take used mattresses. Because people say, oh, no, we don't want to do that because we can't sell it in good conscience and that type of thing. Yes, sir.
How small is your default rate?
Oh, minimal. I think like I said, we've done 57, heading on 58 houses. I know it's less than 5 that has happened. And one of the things, like I said, we've gone to USDA funding, which changes it a little bit. But before that, we were mortgage, right? And we knew we had to change that to do more housing faster. But one of the things that kept us in touch, we were using Virginia Housing to do the administrative work, and then they would send us reports. And like anything, we have some families that get behind. You contact them, they catch up and go on. But our protection, so to speak, particularly in a housing market like we have one here where prices jump, is, if we back then, we would build a house for $120,000, it might trade for $160,000. So we would do the mortgage, then we would do a second mortgage. The second mortgage was for the gap, because what we didn't want to have happen was someone say, gosh, I got a mortgage for $120,000, I can turn this around and sell it for $160,000, I got $40,000, I can buy a new truck. And so we have that second mortgage, usually held out for like 15 years. We didn't require them to pay on it. It was just there, so that if they did and sometimes it'd be somebody moving out of town or whatever, if they did sell the house and they quit, they had to pay their mortgage off, their second mortgage off, and then if there's anything left over, that would be their residual. But again, are there people who get behind? Yes, but in terms of actually default, where we have to go in and say, I'm sorry, you're going to have to leave your home. I'm not sure you've done any, but I wouldn't sign a piece of paper.
We try to work with people on that. Nobody wants to put anybody out of their house.
We work so hard to get them in it, right? And so, but life happens to all. Yes, ma'am.
Given that your truck is down right now, should we use like a service like a Got Junk or something? Do they bring things to you, or is that something they say but don't actually do?
We were out of, our truck is still down at the moment. We weren't doing anything. And the community is so wonderful that they, through the week, were bringing donations.
Yeah, okay.
Once I said, they would call and I would say, at the moment, I can take your name and number, but right now I would explain the situation, and they were like, okay, well, we're just gonna bring it to you.
Okay.
So that was a blessing.
If we can't bring it though, like my parents have some heavy stuff,
Yeah.
so like, do the Got Junks and those other services actually bring you the things they say they will, or do they take it? Because they say that they will donate things, but I don't know if they actually do.
I'm not, I've never had those.
Yeah, I would feel better if you contact us, and we do have an off-site storage that we lease, and of course, and that's flexible, so we can lease additional space if we had to. We have some money in the budget for that as well. So
Make sure it gets to you guys.
Yeah, and a bunch of us have pickup trucks, so it could be the kind of thing where we say, well, as long as we come back 3 or 4 times, to get it. But the large sofas, all of those kind of things, bedroom sets, that type, all that. Yeah, we'll take all kinds of furniture and yes.
What's wrong with your truck? And can we donate something to fix your truck?
Yeah, we would love someone to donate something to fix our truck. I can tell you this. I do know the lift gate, which is very important for big pieces and heavy pieces of furniture. It has had its problems right now. It doesn't work.
And one word that I'm not a mechanic, but I saw in the paper that he said something about a solar light.
And that was something, another situation, yeah, so I know that was one word, something that you need to fix on there as well.
How much do you need?
Well, I was looking at used trucks, if we were to buy them. The cheapest truck I found had 150,000 miles on it, they wanted $57,000 for it.
Yeah, but she's asking, how much did it cost to fix it?
I think we're right around $7,000 for a repair on the truck.
That's just a few crab cakes.
There you go. I didn't know your wife didn't give up that time.
Yes, sir. Well, back here.
Two questions.
Yes, sir.
I used to work with Habitat some years ago. At that particular time, we weren't able to or weren't allowed to buy property. Now, did you say that you buy property now?
We could not survive with the pace we want to do of improving without purchasing property. Now, I'll tell you, we want to pay as little as possible. I had someone show me a lot recently, and they said, well, it's listed for $35,000, but maybe you can make an offer. And I said, look, if we have to spend $35,000 before we put a footing in the ground, that is too much money. Even if it's a beautiful lot and perks and does all this kind of things, we just put too much in the ground, and we still, because that's going to make the house too expensive by the time we get done. You have a second question?
At one point, we did a 4-bedroom house. Have you done any since?
We look at the family and what its needs are. A lot of times, these will be single parent families with multiple kids. So one of the changes we made just recently, if we had been doing bath and a half, so one full bath, one half bath, and then we started thinking about if you're a single parent with 4 kids, you need that second full bath. And so now we're doing that the other two. So we have 2 full baths in both the 3 and 4 bedrooms, just to try to make life easier for the folks once they get there. They'll be thrilled they have a new house, but it was like, one of my gosh, I wonder why they didn't do this. So we made that change. The other change we made is now that these, and I may get the term wrong, luxury vinyl tile for flooring type of thing, those products have gotten so good, we're not doing carpet anymore. The carpet was cheap, easy to install and that type of thing, but then you're giving a maintenance issue for someone down the road, where once the prices of that luxury vinyl tile and the quality moved up, then okay, that's another way we can improve the inside of the house with them.
You still get appliances?
Still get what?
Appliances?
Oh yeah. They come with a washer, dryer, and the appliances you would expect in the kitchen.
Sam, I think we have time for one more question. She talks. She's
I would make so much fun out of you.
My first question is, what is the economics of building a house versus, for example, buying a double wide and fixing it up and making it good?
Okay. Well, all right, you've got 2 pieces there. Don't let me forget to talk about fixing it up.
Yeah.
But in order to do 4 houses a year, think of that, we have to be starting one every 3 months. So up in O'Neill, we did our first modular home as our pilot project to see how's this going to work. It went really well. We thought they would be cheaper, but of course you're paying all the labor that we get volunteers to do when we do a stick bill. We're paying for that labor back. This one actually came out of Danville, was where there's a lot of other habitats we're using that particular company. So yeah, our goal is to have basically 2 stick bills and 2 modular every year, with the idea we don't want to lose our volunteer base. We don't want it to just be somebody's building at 90%. They come here, all we do is sort of put it up. That would be fast, but we like the fact that people come to help, and people like helping their neighbors and their community. So just a second. Yeah, we looked at that. It's hard to find money, and then the quality of the homes are so poor in many cases that most of us, if we were buying off, we would say tear it down and start over. But if someone is selling it to you, they put a value with that house, type of thing. The other things that we find is that in many of the cases, people are living where their septic systems are weakening, if not failing, type of thing. And so then you've got sort of that whole issue again. So our best scenario is a piece of land that perks, and so that we, at the best level as it can on the Eastern Shore, so we can put in the lowest price, becoming clear, you put in the lowest price septic, now quality, the lowest price septic system, put in the well, so you have to have enough acreage that you can get the separation right for systems, so that the water doesn't get messed up, and then build.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Sorry, folks, I know that we're keeping you long. Just 2 points. Our immediate need, of course, we highlighted is a truck. So if you have connections or folks that you have ideas and suggestions. But I also want to point out, if anyone is inclined to make monetary contributions, we are the Eastern Shore Habitat, right? If you just go to Habitat International, that money doesn't necessarily come to the Eastern Shore. Maybe a small bit of it does. I'm not sure how that works. But we'd like to remind you that those donations, if they're cash contributions, should go to the Eastern Shore Habitat.
Very good. All right. Thank you very much. Whoa. All right. An important and very important service. And how many people here who have volunteered for Habitat? John, Diane, Graham, Sam, very good. Round of applause for all of you. Could we all stand for the Rotary of the things we think, say, or do is the control room. Second, third, the bills or the concern. And fifth, will we have fun? Yeah!